What is up, y'all? It's your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review before I head off to work. Obi-Wan Episode 3. Yo, first of all, if people are giving this chick death threats who plays Reva, yo, I hate social justice warrior stuff. I hate forced diversity, all that kind of stuff. I figure if it's something like Star Wars, they were already diverse, on their own. Go back and look at the original trilogy. So just like Marvel, just like Star Wars, just do things the way it's supposed to be. You're going to get that natural diversity. You're going to have, powerful women in there, people of color, all that kind of stuff. But I hate the force stuff. Having said that, yo, this people getting mad about Reva, get a life, yo. I don't see anything wrong with it. Because number one, like I said before, if you're going to have somebody play a villain role, a lot of times they look at that, they look at that as the chance like, okay, I get to chew the scenery. I get to act all crazy. I get to wild out. And that's just kind of like the standard cookie cutter cheap way of doing it. I like the way that she's doing it because I figure, as I said before, later on in the show, she's going to wild out. She's going to go crazy when she eventually fights Obi-Wan or whoever. So you don't need her to do the same thing, to just act crazy every single scene, because number one, she's high up in that order. She's one of the whatchamacallit sisters. So if you were that unhinged constantly, I mean, granted, she's already shown flashes of her being unhinged. So you have to keep it together somewhat. If she was doing all the stuff she's already done in the show, plus screaming and yelling and acting all crazy, her own people would have killed her, all right? So I have no problem with the way that she's playing it right now, because you're going to see her, different range of emotion later on. So anybody that doesn't understand that, you're an idiot. But for people to be like giving her death threats and stuff, it's like, number one, as much as I love Star Wars, it's just Star Wars. I don't feel as disappointed as I've been about a lot of stuff in Star Wars. I don't feel the need to shoot someone an email or, to call privately somebody and, wish them death or threaten them. That's just some loser stuff. Second of all, it's so easy to get caught up in that, to where they could track you down, and that can something like that can ruin your life, because you're not only threatening somebody, but you can get charged for terrorist threats, other things that have huge penalties when you do stuff like that, when you send people death threats or whatever, or leave messages threatening their lives. There's a lot of trouble that goes along with that. So if you're willing to do that, then you have nothing to lose in your life. You're an absolute loser, okay? So third, it's a Obi-Wan show. You can't just sit back and watch it and wait until the show is done and then, make your decision. You have to rate the show when it isn't even halfway over. I don't know. There's just a lot of weirdos out there, man. There's a lot of lame people out there, man. And like I said, I don't like any left-wing stuff. I don't like forced anything, but I don't see any problem, and I definitely don't wish death on anybody with the Obi-Wan show. That's ridiculous. There's some lame losers out there. Plus, she's hot. Have you seen her with makeup on? Stop it. Get out of here. The world needs more hot chicks. If you want to wish death on a woman, pick a ugly one, okay? Stop it. Stop it. But episode 3, of course I loved it. It's Darth Vader. I'm a Darth Vader stan. Him and Snake Plissken are my two favorite movie characters of all time. So to see Darth Vader come back, and somebody told me, I wasn't sure if it was James Earl Jones' voice or if it was that thing where they just have so much audio of James Earl Jones, especially doing Darth Vader, that they can put in that computer program and make new dialogue. Which I was kind of confused if that's what they did, but one of my friends said it's straight up James Earl Jones doing it. And he sounds a lot better than in Rogue One, because in Rogue One, you could tell his voice, it was reflecting his age. In this, he sounds like a young James Earl Jones. I like whatever they did with this, I like it. Whatever they did with it. One of the minor gripes of it is, and I think it's because I know that there's 3 people playing Darth Vader in this, 4 if you count James Earl Jones, but physically, there's 3 people. There's Hayden Christensen. There's somebody that plays him when he's just standing and walking around and stuff. So you have somebody who's big, pause. And then the third one is they have a third person that's performing the lightsaber battles, which I don't understand, because after watching the lightsaber battle, I didn't see anything that you couldn't have taught Hayden, or you couldn't have taught the guy that's doing the stand-in for Hayden. I didn't get that. Another gripe is just the whole fire thing. And I'm just assuming that you've watched this episode. So in the end, when Vader and Obi-Wan are fighting, there's, fire in between them. Fire used to torture Obi-Wan, but also the fire is reignited so that there's a barrier between Vader and Obi-Wan so they can rescue Obi-Wan after he gets his butt kicked and they can get out of there. So I'm just going to make excuses for Vader in my head and say that he let Obi-Wan go so that he could continue the chase, which doesn't make any sense because he wants this dude dead. But that's the only way I can deal with this. Because why didn't Vader just use the Force? I mean, there's like a 3 foot long, 3 foot long, wall of fire, and he can see through it. So Vader could have easily used the Force to stop them from saving Obi-Wan and dragging him off. Or he could have did something. He could have used like a Force grip, and grabbed a bunch of sand and extinguished the fire and went over there and stopped Obi-Wan. I don't know. That just stood out to me. Just like in episode 2, which I forgot to bring up, where Obi-Wan was letting Princess Leia like get away from him when they were running around in that city and everything. Where it's like, dude, we saw Phantom Menace. We know you can run fast like the Flash. Or you could have used the Force grip and stopped Leia from running from you. But you didn't, just for some reason. So, and again, in my Star Wars fanboy brain, I had to make up excuses for it and say, okay, Obi-Wan didn't want to reveal himself as a Jedi. Plus, he's trying not to use Jedi skills because he shunned him because it's whatever, brought so much pain in his life, whatever. And I know it sounds like I didn't like the episode 3, but I loved it because it's Vader in his castle, Vader threatening people, Vader killing innocent people, Vader burning people. I mean, come on, man. Dude, the bad stuff in this, or the stuff that I can nitpick about, doesn't compare to the stuff that I love. And we got 3 more episodes and Vader's in all 3. Plus we have another knockdown, drag-out fight between Obi-Wan and Vader. Stop it. I needed this. And you know what we need after this? We need the boys to come back. Because we've had some lame shows. Especially Disney Plus shows. We've had some lame shows. And I've been trying to watch Stranger Things Season 4. I do not like this show anymore. I liked the first season. From that point on, it's just been a gradual decline of what I don't like. And I do not care about The Walking Dead. Just tell me what happens in the end. Just somebody hit me up and tell me what happens in the end. And let me know when that Rick Grimes movie is coming, if it ever comes. Pause. So I'm grateful for this. You know what I'm saying? You give me a show right when I need something to watch with one of my favorite characters of all time. One of my top 2 favorite characters of all time. Stop it. You ain't going to get me to trash this. Stop it. So, there was something else. Oh, I also like that they toned down Leia in this, man. She was too grown up in the second episode. And a lot of people I've talked to about this, that was one of their gripes with this. I mean, besides, apparently I'm the only one on Earth that likes Reva or tolerates her. But besides that, the other thing was Leia. She was just too adult for, a 10-year-old. And I like the fact that they toned it down here, and she actually behaved like a 10-year-old in this. Also, I don't know if she's a Jedi, but the chick that helped Obi-Wan and little Leia escape, she was in that show Rome that was on HBO. And in this day and time where with, streaming service shows are just so popular, everybody, has their own show that they're watching, that they're binging, people, word of mouth, hey, you should check this out. Oh, well, yeah, you should check this out, blah, blah. Why is nobody talking about Rome on HBO? That was a great show. That was an awesome show. Deadwood, one of my favorite shows of all time, is on HBO. I can understand that because the language, the way that they verbalize things, that throws a lot of people off, but that's one of the greatest shows of all time. Definitely Deadwood. Rome is up there. Rome is a great show. There's nothing like that to hold you back from watching it or enjoying Rome. So check out Rome. She's in it. That chick that helps Obi-Wan, she's in it. And it just reminded me of how great a show Rome is. And I'm going to have to go back and start watching that, considering we don't really have too many options of good shows. I'm not just going to watch a show just to watch a show. It has to be good, okay? And Rome is definitely rewatchable. But let's get back to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, episode 3, 0 to 10 dog bones. What rating do I give it? I mean, again, it had Vader in it. I'm going to give it wasn't perfect. I'm going to give it a 9. That's coming from a Darth Vader stan. But you notice I didn't give it a 10 because I could still recognize the slight flaws. But like I said, we got 3 more episodes, man. Come on. This is We're just getting a little glimpse of the mayhem that Vader's bringing right now. All right, this is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm out. I gotta go to work.